3 years ago, the western suburbs of Melbourne rallied to save the Footscray Bulldogs, a club facing extinction because of huge debts and bad form. But in an amazing turnaround, the people of Footscray showed there was plenty of bite left in the Bulldogs. Greg Hoy reports.
You know, I heard a saying once from a person that said that God must love ordinary people because he made so many of us. And then he went on to say that it's ordinary people that do extraordinary things.
Sons of the Scray, red, white and blue.
It's a home game for the Footscray Bulldogs and the crowds roll in. The cheer squad girls are nervous and so is the crowd.
It's the adrenaline. I get adrenaline when I come to the game.
Do you?
You know, yeah. It backs you up.
You get a bit excited, do you?
A lot excited.
This year, the Bulldogs are up round the top of the ladder, and you have to understand how sweet it is.
Well, they said during the last depression that Farlap was the people's only joy. In this depression, the Footscray Football Club are the western suburbs' only joy.
Club veteran and local youth worker Les Twentyman.
Because these proud working class people unfortunately been plunged into becoming welfare recipients, and it's quite tragic. But once a week, they've got a smile on their face, and that's something.
Footscray lies in the shadow of Melbourne's central business district. It's a dormitory area for industry. But industry is ailing, and so is the community.
It's like they say, well, look, we haven't got much at the moment, you know, in our lives. Our kids are out of work, our husbands are out of work, but we know you've got the football club there.
When you have kids who live out here in tips on school roofs, families living in cars, this country is going down the path of a third world country. This football club gives that spirit that we're going to fight back.
We refuse to surrender, but we're going to stay in the West.
The Bulldogs certainly have tenacity. 3 years ago, after a series of secret meetings, the league executives tried to put the old club down by merging it with Fitzroy.
And if Footscray find at the end of the day that they're happier to merge with us rather than go out of business, well, that's the way it'll be.
Despite a century and a half in competition, the Scraggers, as they're known, hadn't won a grand final since 1954.
Get your stickers here, up yours, Oakley!
But overnight, something extraordinary happened. The word spread fast that the Dogs needed help. It wasn't long before the club's $1.8 million debt disappeared.
Because Footscray is the Western Suburbs club, it's the club of Western Suburbs people.
With local boy-made lawyer Peter Gordon at the helm, the Dogs told the executives where to go.
We indicated we're now in a much stronger position than most other of your constituents' clubs. We have no debt. We have a strong major sponsor. We've got a proven support base. We're going on.
Sons of the Scray, sons of the red, white and blue.
And for a Hollywood finish, the Bulldogs are now sharing first place on the league ladder. #1 supporter, Irene Chatfield.
Look, this is what I've waited for so many years, you know. You get out there, and when you know you're going to win, and you're winning well, you just get tears all the time. I get really excited, you know, I get hyped up.
Irene says the premiership is in the bag, but there remains a pretty serious problem.
With 46% youth unemployment in the western suburbs, that's as high as 70%. And I would say, as a youth worker in this area, that if it wasn't for this football club, we'd be seeing far more violence than what we're seeing at the moment.
But Les Twentyman has sketched the Bulldogs onto the problem. Firstly, employing the unemployed.
I couldn't express how much it has helped me.
And football stars like Steve McPherson, who's just notched up 150 games, have now visited 15,000 school children locally to spread the good word of the Bulldog.
I think it's important that you realise that we're just normal people. We're just the same as your mums and dads or your brothers and sisters who are fortunate enough to play league football.
Over the past 3 years, the Bulldogs have learnt a big lesson in survival. Even when the chips are down, anything is possible.
To a large extent, that's what Victoria needs. It needs the determination to say, the world doesn't owe us a living, the AFL doesn't owe us an existence. It's up to us to work it out ourselves, to make it work.
They come down here and enjoy 2 hours of bliss. And there's an old saying, champions get up when they can't. And that's what the people of Western Suburbs proved they were.
Even in Toorak, there's probably people out of work, but you've got to come back. And, well, Australia will come back. The people of the Western Suburbs will come back because they're fighters.